भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 14, Text number 48. Savai Mahabhagavato Mahatma Mahanubhavo Mahatam Mahishtaha Pravardha Bhaktya Hi Anubhavitashaye Niveshya Vaikuntam Imam Vihasyati. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The topmost devotee of the Lord will have expanded intelligence and expanded influence and will be the greatest of the great souls. Due to matured devotional service, he will certainly be situated in transcendental ecstasy and will enter the spiritual sky after quitting this material world. Purport. There are 3 stages of transcendental development in devotional service, which are technically called Sthayi Bhava, Anubhava and Mahabhava. Continual perfect love of Godhead is called Sthayi Bhava, and when it is performed in a particular type of transcendental relationship, it is called Anubhava. But the stage of Mahabhava is visible amongst the personal pleasure potential energies of the Lord. It is understood that the grandson of Diti, namely Prahlad Maharaj, would constantly meditate on the Lord and reiterate his activities. Because he would constantly remain in meditation, he would easily transfer himself to the spiritual world after quitting his material body. Such meditation is still more conveniently performed by chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord. This is especially recommended in this age of Kali. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So the glories of the grandson of Diti, Prahlad Maharaj, is being described here by Kashyapa Muni. Prahlad Maharaj's appearance is being predicted by Kashyapa Muni, and what are his qualities, how he will impact this world. It is very informative for one to understand how the pure devotee of the Lord is to be perceived through his glories. So his glories are being narrated by Kashyapa Muni. Here particularly it says, the topmost devotee of the Lord will have expanded intelligence and expanded influence. Expanded intelligence and expanded influence, and will be the greatest of the great souls. Once one mind is fixed on the transcendental Lord, fixed in Krishna consciousness, once one's mind is in rapture, is astounded by the transcendental nature of the Lord, glories of the Lord, then one's small consciousness, we are all tiny consciousness as Jiva. The moment we are linked up with the Lord in adoration and glorification, immediately our consciousness also expands. This is the evidence here. The topmost devotee of the Lord will have expanded intelligence and expanded influence. Normally when we take birth in this material world, We have certain karmic intelligence, karmic influence by which we lead our life of different kinds of sense gratification, gross and subtle. The moment we become devotee of the Lord, free from sense gratification, which is automatic, once we become the devotee of the Lord and free from sense gratification, then expanded intelligence, expanded influence is manifest. Yesterday we saw yesterday's verse, how the Lord, in the heart of such a devotee, He dictates His service. He dictates orders for His servants, whose only business is actually to please the Lord by executing devotional service. It is the nature of every living entity, being part and parcel of Krishna, to be in a state of ecstasy once in their consciousness becomes Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada has given or expounded the personality of Krishna throughout his books. The cause of all causes, what is the nature of this person, what is the nature of God, this unlimited person, that God is a person, and how no one is equal to or greater than Him, and how He is full of all opulences, how He is the richest, He is the most famous, the most powerful, strongest, everything, most beautiful, most intelligent. So, even in this material world, we see someone, we hear somebody who is very intelligent, or who is very influential, who is very loving. Some of these qualities, when we see extraordinary qualities, then we get attracted. And getting attracted automatically gives us the joy. Somehow attraction is connected to happiness, attraction is connected to joy. Running away from things or repulsion is connected to pain. So attraction automatically means, it is transcendental joy. So Krishna consciousness or the bliss of Krishna consciousness can be experienced simply by thinking of the Lord. One does not have to meet the Lord. By thinking of the qualities of the Lord. Because there is actually no difference between different varieties of the Lord and His manifestations and His expressions, His activity, His name, His form, His paraphernalia. Actually they are all one field, one continuous field. It is called Advaya Jnana. And therefore by associating with any one of them, you actually come in touch with every other limited qualities of the Lord. That is how the entire purification happens. When purification happens, because our heart is craving for the unlimited Lord, or we are tiny, Anu, our heart is craving for unlimited beauty, is craving for relationship with unlimited loving entities. And that is what is misdirected in this material world, where we give our heart to attraction into this material world. Love, affection, family, sense enjoyments, nice things to see, nice things to taste, nice things to hear, nice things to touch, nice things to smell, nice things to taste. We are attracted to all these things in this material world. But none of those attraction can be given up unless we develop an alternate attraction for the Lord. And the Lord connected taste, smell, touch, etc. And any one of the things, whether the Lord's prasadam, taste, one can experience the touch of Krishna in everything. If one understands this, the Lord's unlimited mercy that is coming in every one of these manifestations of the Lord. The Lord is unlimited in every aspect. But for a sadhaka, what captures the heart of the devotee is the Lord's unlimited mercy, because that is direct relationship with the Lord. Because it is in that mood that the Lord is appearing either on our tongue or as a taste or as holy name or on ear or for our eyes as a transcendental form of the deities. All these things are actually, it is effusing with mercy, compassion. Mercy means compassion. Compassion of the Lord is pouring over to bring us back, to connect us back with Him. Once we are connected, then one becomes fixed in devotion service. So these are the qualities being described, that the devotee of the Lord who is fixed in devotion service, fixed in pure devotion service. When we say fixed, it means, he is free from sense gratification. He does not see, there is no attraction for him for all this sense gratification. There is no attraction, because his heart is bewildered by the attraction to the Lord. When you are attracted by the Lord, then why you will get attracted to anything else? Whether it is the form, whether it is the sound, whether it is the taste, everywhere you are attracted to the Lord. So the goal of life, the goal of Krishna consciousness is to get attracted to Krishna. To get attracted to Krishna, you have to hear about Him from a pure devotee. So therefore reading is so important. If we don't hear about Him, if we don't hear about Him from a pure devotee, then that is a basic basic substance on which the devotees feed their spirit. What is that? Hearing. So hearing and smaranam and then remembering the Lord is very naturally for every living entity. The Lord's unlimited qualities are very tasty. It is constitutional. The highest taste is taste of Krishna in his varied forms. So that is the principle of higher taste. Yogis, Jnanis, they try so many different ways to conquer the senses. But Prabhupada repeatedly says that those are all for people who are not positively focusing on getting attracted to Krishna. Krishna's form. Kandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham. Not that we are the Vaishnavas Vaishnavas are not attracted to form, not attracted to taste. No, they are all attracted. They are attracted. But they are attracted to Krishna's form. How can we get attracted to Krishna's form when I have not seen Krishna's form? Is it not? Okay, if I see a Krishna's form, then I get attracted. Then I will lose attraction for all other forms. How can I get attracted without seeing Krishna's form? It's very simple. If I see Krishna's form, then why I am struggling like this with all my senses? Why can't Krishna come before me? I see Him, then He is the most beautiful, then I don't get attracted to anybody else. No doubt. Yes, it's a fact. Krishna is ready to come before us, to show before us. But before that, we have to aspire for seeing Him by hearing Him first. Simply, Kandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham. If you analyze this, just see, take anything like this. The glories of the Lord is described, any statement. Simply by hearing about it, one sees the Lord halfway through. And that is enough. Take the meaning of this word, you think about it, contemplate about, Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. Koti Kamaniya. Here you are getting affected by one Kamaniya. Koti Kamaniya, and each of those Kamaniya are Vishesha. Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. The Lord's beauty is not simply Koti Kamaniya, Vishesha Shobham. Ananda Chinmaya Sadujjvala Vigrahasya. What is a Vigraha of the Lord? What is the form of the Lord? Ananda Chinmaya Sadujjvala Vigrahasya. Effulgent with Ananda and Chinmaya, transcendental consciousness or Chit consciousness. So in the material world, these forms made of flesh is just duplicating those forms. They are not forms at all actually. Because real form means identity. In the absolute world, Chit form means identity. There is a Vyakti there. But here there is a duality. There is a matter body and the soul. And the soul is thinking that, is making a concept out of the body. And then it is thinking that is me. Bodily concept. There is body and there is bodily concept and there is a soul. So soul is relating with the body through bodily concept. Bodily concept of life. That means I am the body, this particular body. So the fundamental thing itself, by appreciating the transcendental glories of the Lord, our consciousness becomes fine. This is very important. We should be able to perceive consciousness. We should be able to perceive what is identity. Identity is different, body is different. Now, Dehatma Buddhi means that Atma is merged with the Deha. This is Dehatma Buddhi we have. So how Deha is gross, so how to understand fine forms? Our consciousness has to become fine. There has to be actually energy, spiritual energy. Our soul has to get energized. Then only our chinta, our thinking will become finer to understand what is spiritual form and how this bodily concept is trapping us. To understand all these things you need. The only solution is simply direct hearing or understanding. Hearing means hearing and meaning. When you hear, first you hear the sound and then there is a meaning. So the meaning manifests. So by repeatedly hearing, actually meaning is there in that word. In this Shabda, Ananda Chinmaya Sadujjvala Vigrahasya, the actual fact also, there is no difference between that sound and the meaning. Meaning is there actually, and there is no difference between meaning and the Lord. So it's only a varieties of, even now, in a different form, we can actually touch Krishna. Krishna's form, that Ananda Chinmaya, that Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham, the Lord may not reveal now, but your heart can still be captured by that concept. Because the concept of the Lord is not different from the Lord. Here the concept of something is different from the concept. A pen is different from the real pen. In the spiritual world, a gross pen and a subtle pen in your mind, there is no difference. It's only difference in manifestation. That's all. But the Vyakti is there here and Vyakti is there here. The Vyakti of the pen is in your mind also, here also is. So all these things are possible by somehow or the other. The entire process of Krishna consciousness is to somehow associate and touch with Krishna. Come and touch with Krishna. That is the only way we can get disinfected from matter. Matter is infected our consciousness, matter and material consciousness. To get disinfected from that, the only way is to associate with Krishna. And Prabhupada says at the end of this purport, he says that for this age, the association is the easiest with chanting the holy name of the Lord. The easiest way to touch the Lord is by chanting and hearing. Chanting, doing service, vibrating, and hearing is perceiving Krishna in one of the forms. So many forms, in sound form, visual form, taste form, different forms are there, which we can perceive. Different five senses of perceptions are there. So hearing is one of the sense perceptions. So the Lord is available in the hearing perception, is available. And we have to engage our tongue in the service of the vibration, and the Lord is available. We hear, we associate, then our consciousness touches. We because that all those changes are happening at deep level in our spirit. We cannot see those things happening, but our consciousness automatically, our intelligence becomes sharper and sharper to understand these finer things. Because understanding means you need intelligence. So intelligence, it has to come, finer intelligence has to come. So by the mercy of the spiritual master, by engaging in devotion service, simply that finer intelligence is given to us, and once the finer intelligence is given, then everything becomes clear. When there is light, there is no darkness. You don't have to theorize, I am not this body. When there is light, you will see naturally, I am not this body, how can I be this body? Just like now, very naturally you see, okay, I am not this table. You don't need theory, you don't need jnana, isn't it? No, I am different, table is different. Similarly, I am different, this body is different. No, I am not this body, very naturally it will appear. Why? Fine intelligence. That intelligence means fine consciousness. So there is no other way for us than to associate with the Lord. This is a secret. Constantly associate with the Lord means Lord and the Lord's concept, Lord's knowledge, that is being revealed by the pure devotee. That's all. That knowledge is available. Simply by reading Prabhupada's book, reading Krishna book, reading Bhagavad Gita, we get addicted to it, then our life is successful. So much source is there. Nobody is drinking it. That is the point. Sometimes there is no water at all to drink. Right? The other situations, plenty of water is there, nobody is drinking. So this is our situation in Kali Yuga. So much of drink is available. Nectar is available. But we have no taste to drink. We don't want to drink. If you drink, we should train our mind to drink. And then because it is actually our natural taste, then the taste will come. Then our life is successful. And everything automatically, as it is said, once you get fixed up in Krishna consciousness, you are part and parcel of Krishna. You are joined together. Like yesterday's verse said, how, what to do, when to do, all those things. Automatically your consciousness is taken over by the super soul. You are only in the mood of a servant. I am just carrying an order carrier. I am just order carrier. So such order carrier don't feel any responsibility also. Because his responsibility is only to carry out the order of the Lord. There is no material responsibility. He becomes spiritually responsible to always remember the Lord and be connected with the Lord. So as Prabhupada says, the best way for connection is the holy name, the particular incarnation for this age. Without chanting, without first associating properly with the holy name by chanting, you cannot actually relate with the deity form also, transcendental deity form also. Because it requires certain fineness of consciousness, it requires certain purification, which will result in fineness of consciousness to see the transcendental, even to understand the transcendental form of the Lord. Transcendental form of the Lord. Otherwise, one will simply see matter only. As we said, our vision is infected with vision of matter in this material world. Any questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So can you please elaborate on this, the responsibility aspect when you told, when a devotee surrenders to Krishna, he doesn't have even responsibility, but again you told material responsibility and something. Can you please elaborate on that, Prabhu?
See, when one is at the feet of the Lord, one is fixed as an order carrier, then he is carrying the order of somebody, and whoever's order it is, that is his responsibility. Our responsibility is simply to carry out the order. There is a particular purport, Prabhupada talks about it. I do not know where in 18th chapter is there. There is such a devotee does not feel the burden of any material responsibility, because material responsibility comes from the idea that I am the controller and mover of matter. Whereas spiritual responsibility comes from the idea that Krishna is a mover of matter, I am an order carrier. Have you read that purport? The exact words I said are there. No material responsibility. Does it make sense? See, master's order he is carrying out. Job is master's. So your responsibility is to carry out the order. Now the order may be, if you are, let's say somebody says, okay, I am the managing director of this company. I am asking my general manager, please produce 1,000 pieces of product in this month. Right? He is given the order. Now, along with the order, he is also empowered. Suppose no power is there, then how will he produce? He is given freedom and power. And in this example, the general manager takes responsibility. I will, from now onwards, I have to produce that. But in Krishna consciousness, what happens? Is Krishna is constantly, by his devotion service, is performed by his mercy. Because everything is carried out by the three modes of material nature under his supervision. So, constantly the devotee is thinking that I should be very responsible with respect to me being the servant of the Lord now, next moment, next moment, next moment, next moment. When you forget that you are not the servant of Krishna, then material responsibility comes. We are unable to constantly remember I am the servant of Krishna. That is the state that is being talked about. If you are constantly remembering I am an order carrier, what is my order, what is my order, what is my order, anticipate that order from the Lord, it's an inner consciousness, then you have no responsibility. Everything will come. But one who knows the instruments of work, himself as a worker and the Supreme Lord as a supreme sanctioner, is perfect in doing everything. Such a person is never in illusion. Personal activity and responsibility arise from false ego and godlessness or lack of Krishna consciousness. Anyone who is acting in Krishna consciousness under the direction of the Super Soul or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though killing does not kill, nor is he ever affected by reactions of such killing. When a soldier kills under the command of a superior officer, he is not subject to be judged. But if a soldier kills on his own personal account, then he is certainly judged by a court of law. This is 17th verse purport, Bhagavad Gita. But this should not be mistaken. Oh, now I am devotee, I have no responsibility. You have to take responsibility. You yourself have to take responsibility to control your mind. Suppose your mind is fully controlled, why you have to take responsibility? Just follow what the Lord says in your heart. It is His job, His responsibility. My responsibility is simply to go on executing it. I am an order carrier. Success, failure is all His. not mine. I have no success, I have no failure. Company has to close means I am not lost, his loss. I carried out his order. Profit is there, profit is his, loss is his. And this company of the Lord is not particular about, external profit and, success and failure and all that. His profit is us, purifying us. So through these services, जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद।